Welcome to It's Good to Have Goals with Bob and Ryan.
Welcome everybody to another week of It's Good to Have Goals. This show today is the game previews that are coming up. Ryan, what do we got this week?
So again, this is episode 3 of 3 here. We decided to change the way we did it from a one segment, 30-minute video to maybe 3 anywhere from 10 to 15-minute videos. This is our preview segment. We already did our review segment and our news segment. So this week we're going to go over our previews.
And remember, our show is sponsored by Gigi's Bread. Can't say it enough. We're working on sourdough. That said, the jalapeno cheddar is fantastic. And we're working on subscriptions for you. So thanks for sponsoring our show.
Yeah, we're trying to get a link to you in the future. So thank you for that. And then we'll start with our prediction standings. So I had 6 points entering the week. I took 2 more points this week. So I beat you on the week.
0 points for me this week.
But your 9 points still beats out my 8. So you're still in the lead. Lead is kind of slimmed down a little bit though. We'll get into this week's predictions, which are going to be Lazio and Sassuolo. So even though Lazio lost, we're still on Lazio watch.
Yep.
Juve and Atalanta, which is kind of a branch of Lazio watch. If Atalanta win, Lazio's title hopes are kind of back on. Tottenham Arsenal, the North London derby, big rivalry game there. And Villarreal Real Sociedad, which could be a big game in Spain in terms of European ambition for the two teams.
Fantastic.
So we'll jump into our first one, which is Lazio and Sassuolo.
All right.
Sassuolo. I think I'm saying that wrong. Sassuolo.
So, Ryan, you've got Lazio 2-1. I've got Lazio 2-1. Why are we so high on Lazio?
I don't really know why we can be so high on Lazio. They've struggled since the restart. The only real constant, as you'll see in the next slide, is Ciro Immobile scoring goals. But that's always a constant for Lazio no matter what. 2-1 is probably a safe score for them. I could see them really limping across the line this game, though, as they've done with almost all their games, except for the Milan game, where they didn't really limp across the line. They just kind of limped. They were poor. Lazio expect goals from Ciro Immobile. For Sassuolo, the only reason I'm really giving them a chance in this game is because Lazio have been so poor. But big game for Lazio. If they win and Atalanta win, they could be back. They could be back in the title race.
Lazio will be back in it.
It's a new segment for us. All our preview games are gonna have a 1 to watch.
Oh, fantastic!
And our 1 to watch for the Lazio Sassuolo game is Ciro Immobile, the Italian 29-year-old, 30-year-old maybe even. He's got 29 goals in 29 Serie A appearances.
That's almost like an appearance.
And he's got 8 assists in those 29 games. He's seeking to break Gonzalo Higuain's 36-goal season record, which was in sometime in the early mid-2010s with Napoli. He's kind of the chief spearhead of that Lazio attack. He's the guy that they really revolve around to get goals. He's a good poacher in the box, gets a lot of tap-ins, gets a lot of goals within the 6-yard box, the penalty spot, stuff like that. Expect him to get a goal, maybe 2, maybe 3. You never know, he could go off like that. He has that potential. Lazio's success doesn't necessarily revolve around him because he's always been good for them, even when they've struggled this season. But if Lazio want to win the title, Ciro Immobile has to continue to score a goal a game, essentially.
Go Ciro.
Then we'll get into our next game, which is Juve-Atalanta.
Juve-Atalanta. Let's see.
I've gone Atalanta 3-2, purely because I want Atalanta to win. I've gone with a dad pick today instead of my normal smart Juventus should win this game 2-3-1. I've gone Atalanta because I want Atalanta to win. You've gone with a 2-2 draw. So yeah, I guess you kind of want Atalanta to win, but you're also banking on Juve to sort of
Why
win
would
a game.
Juve not smoke Atalanta?
Atalanta's in 4th, and some can argue they've been the best team in Italy this year. Juve are the best team in Italy. Atalanta probably the second best team in Italy.
Then I think I do like the draw pick.
So it's essentially a 1v2 in terms of how they've played all season. It's a 1v4 on the table because Atalanta have dropped some games here and there that they shouldn't have dropped. But 1v2 in terms of, I think, the 2 best teams in Italy, even though it's 1 versus 4. Our 1 to watch for this game is defender Matthias de Ligt. That's Matthias. Matthias. He's from the Netherlands. He's played 33 times for Juve this year at center back, and he's played in every game since the restart for Maurizio Sarri's Juve. He's kept 14 clean sheets in 33 games, which is more than a third a game. He had a slow start to the season. A lot of people saying he shouldn't be playing for Juve. He cost too much money. I think he was a big money, 50 million plus move for a center back. That's a lot. He was only 20 at the time, and a center back normally doesn't come into his prime until he's 28 or 30 years old. So he's really been a big name player 8 years before he should ever even really be considered as an elite defender.
I thought the goalie was the one that got the clean sheet.
No, but the defenders, he doesn't get counted into a clean sheet, but when he plays, they get a clean sheet 14 out of 33 games. So it's sort of just a stat to say he's sort of not vital to the defense, but he's a crucial part of maybe their defensive setup.
Well, I can't wait to watch him.
Young player, struggled at the beginning of the season, but I think that struggle was kind of more a media perception than it was a actual struggle. He was so much money, there was so much hype around him. When he came out and had 10 average games, a lot of people were saying, is he really worth the money? Which, in fact, I think, no, he's not worth the money, because no one ever is worth that kind of money in soccer. There's no way a player should be going for $50 million at 20 years old. It shouldn't happen. But I think he sort of steadied the ship. Not fixed the ship, that's the wrong word. But steadied the ship in terms of 14 clean sheets as a center back in 33 games is very good. Composed center back, good on the ball, perfect for the way Juve play. He's my one to watch here because of how Atalanta attack. He's going to have to be on his A game in order for them to kind of withstand Atalanta's numbers and attack. And I think if he has a good game, Juve are likely going to win this week.
Well, I'll be on the lookout for it. We got Tottenham and Arsenal. Arsenal played pretty well this last weekend. You've got Arsenal 2-1, and I've got Arsenal 3-2.
And this could easily go with a draw or a Tottenham win. I've just gone Arsenal because I'm confident in Mikel Arteta, who's never coached professionally before. He's been an assistant, but he's never been a head coaching job. And to have your first head coaching job be Arsenal is a really big deal.
And how long has he been coaching them?
6 months. But he's only coached 4 months because of the coronavirus, really. 2 months, 3 months off. And again, it's a big culture thing for him. He's got to fix the team. He's got to fix the team first before they can have a lot of success. And he's slowly starting to actually fix the team, I think, with re-signing players. They're catching good form. Tottenham have been up and down. And you know me, I like to say I'd rather pick a team that's consistent every week than a team that is a yo-yo team. And both these teams are kind of yo-yo teams. But I think recently Arsenal have found that consistency. So I've got Arsenal 2-1. Other than that, should be a pretty straightforward game. One to watch is Giovanni Lo Celso, the Argentine center mid / right winger / attacking mid / defensive mid / left winger.
Oh, you go, boy.
He is only got 2 goals and 1 assist in 31 appearances. Now, that's kind of misleading because he does so much more for them in terms of in the build-up, keeping possession, progressing the play, being sort of a playmaker. He doesn't always get the assist. He normally kind of gets the pass to the assist. I pass to you, you pass to the guy who scores the goal type of deal.
Yeah.
But his problem is he hasn't found enough time in the first team. His numbers are so small because he's made 31 appearances, but a lot of them have been off the bench. And under Mourinho, he's played a bit of everywhere. He's played the attacking mid, he's played a center mid, he's played as a holding mid, he's played as a winger, he's played as a left wing. He could probably play as a false number 9, a false striker, a guy who drops in. He needs to find a distinct position in order to succeed under Mourinho, because Jose Mourinho likes players who do a certain job for every single position, and if he can't find a certain job at a certain position, he won't be able to play under Mourinho. So
Well, it sounds like a heck of a soccer player, though.
that's been the problem with Tanguy Ndombele, who's a holding mid, who Mourinho doesn't want a holding mid. He wants a box-to-box athlete, and he hasn't been that for him. So he's struggled. He wants out now because he doesn't like Mourinho. So if Lo Celso can find a distinct position, big opportunity for him to boost those numbers in the future, and maybe it can start with the Arsenal game. You never know.
Well, I can't wait to watch him.
Villarreal Sociedad is our last one.
My favorite logo. So you took Villarreal 2-1, and I took Villarreal 3-1.
So I think you're just copying me this week, to be honest.
Well, if I copy every week, I can't lose. I'll always win by 1.
It's fair. So I've gone 2-1. You've gone 3-1. I'm sure you know absolutely nothing about either team, but for this game, Villarreal have been the best team in Spain other than Real Madrid since the restart. Their first loss was the Barcelona loss the weekend where they lost 4-1. That was this weekend. But other than that, they've been flawless, fantastic. and they look like a Champions League team. Sevilla have struggled. They've dropped points from time to time. Villarreal haven't really dropped that many points. If they win this week, they're only 3 points back from Sevilla for the 4th place Champions League spot. If Villarreal get in the Champions League, it's a big story. They finished 16th last year, I think. They were really low down the table. They've had a sort of a revival since the restart, as I said. Sociedad were very good before the restart, haven't been as good after the restart. They need this win to get back on track for their Europa League hunt.
Go Sociedad.
One to watch for this game is Gerard Moreno, who, if you look at that, he's got 16 goals and 5 assists in 32 La Liga games for the club, and he's got 5 in the last 5
He's hot.
since the restart. So
Big check.
he's helping to push them into UCL contention, which is the Champions League. At the very least, they'll be back in the Europa League, at which they were a couple years ago, and they were always a consistent Europa League round of 16 team. Last year was a bad year for them. This year they've gone back up, and they could even exceed what their expectations are and make the Champions League. Moreno's going to be key for this game and key for the next 4 or 5 games.
What position does he play?
Striker.
Striker.
He's a goal scorer.
All right.
And usually I don't pick goal scorers to be my one to watch, my man of the match, because I like the guys who don't necessarily get the acclaim. I like the guys who do the dirty work, a la De Ligt as a center back, Lo Celso, who hasn't been great this year, but he does certain things for that team that make them tick. But you have to respect goals when they're there. Gerard Moreno, 16 goals in 32 games. If you do the math, what is that? It's a goal every...
That's almost a game, one every 2 games.
Every other game. And if you do the math for Giro, it's a goal every game. So you have to respect goals when they're there. And in this case, the goals are definitely there. He's my one to watch for this one. Look for Villarreal to win. And if they win, progress further in the European stages. If they make the Champions League, that's a big step for them in terms of trying to catch the big 3 of Atleti, Barca, and Real Madrid.
Well, there's all kinds of good soccer still coming at us, and even to next month. So thank you for the show today. We will see you all next week.
Next week with our 4 games and our 3 different episodes.